Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome to 31 Days to Business Startup, Day 6. What is your unique value proposition? What we call USP, I think they refer to in the business world, unique selling proposition. And I want to say three things about the unique value proposition, unique selling proposition, whichever one you want to refer to it as. The three things are: what is your product or service? And then what is the target audience? And then what value do you provide? But more importantly, I really want to talk more specifically about your unique value proposition, because in day 5 I talked about your compelling promise. And I contend that your compelling promise and your unique value proposition are really two sides of the same coin. They're the thing that really makes you different from everybody else, and really the thing that's going to make you successful. I mean, I can't tell you how the compelling promise and the unique value proposition are just so key to business success these days. And so let's talk let's dig a little deeper and kind of understand what your unique value proposition is. So think about it. You have your brand, right? And you think about what your brand does well. And then part of understanding what your brand does well really goes back a little bit to your compelling promise, but more importantly, what is the value added that in terms of what you're doing and offering in your business. And make sure that you're always focused on that, because I don't care what kind of business you're in, you have competitors. And so you want to make sure that you outshine everybody else. And then more importantly, you may be in a business where you have competitors, but more importantly, what really get kind of clear about what your customers want. That's always equally as important. I think a lot of times we think, oh, I know what my customer wants and I'm going to give them this. And maybe you're right partially, and maybe you're wrong. And you want to make sure that you're 100% right, because then you are creating a unique value proposition, because you're saying, look, I'm going to give you everything you need, not just partially. Nothing is more frustrating, than to go to someone, right, to a business or entrepreneur to get a particular product or service and only get partial. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm the kind of person where I probably won't go back. I start to put you on my little list of my boycott list where I don't where I don't come back. And then the other thing you want to take in consideration when you're creating your unique value proposition is, what is it that your competitors are doing and what are they doing well? And you may think to yourself, well, I don't really care because, I know I'm doing this better. I mean, look, in order for you to really hone in and for you to really get specific and for you to really create your own unique value proposition, you've got to do a little research and discover what is it that your competitors are doing well and why are their customers continue to come back over and over again. And more specifically, where a lot of times, your real goal is to figure out where is the gap and what the customer wants and how you can fill that gap in your own unique way. And so there's this little chart on the screen, and it has, what your brand does well, what your competitor does well, and then what your customer wants. And the thing about it is when it all comes together, when all three of these pieces come together, it becomes questionable in the mind of the customer whether or not they're going to go to you or go to your competitor. And so it's a 50-50 chance, it's what they call risky. You don't want to be just like your competitors, because then your customer client kind of predictability is something that you won't really be able to predict, because they may choose you and they may not. If your competitors are doing it better than you, then for the most part, you're within what we call the losing zone, because people are picking them over you, and you don't want that to happen. And so if you are in the losing zone, I tell people, look, don't trip because you're in the risky zone or you're in the losing zone. Do what you need to do in terms of research and figuring out what it is you need to do to shift yourself into the winning zone. You want to be the kind of business that's offering the kind of services or products that are better than your competitors, and and the kind of business products and services that are in alignment with what your customer wants. That's all. That's all you got to do. Figure out what they want. And some of that is real simple. You can ask them. I think we think some of this stuff is like rocket science, but it's not. It's real simple. Just ask your clients like, look, you know, I'm offering this service, or like go to your friends and family. If you're starting a business, a particular business, let's say you're starting a business and you want to offer clothing for full-figured women. Go to full-figured women and ask them, like, look, what kind of clothes do you guys really want? I think a lot of people think they know what bigger women want, but maybe you can just go and ask them and say, what kind of materials do you want? What do you want the clothes to look like? How do you want them to fit? What kind of service do you want when creating these clothes? And you will probably find all the answers that you need. And then what you need to do is curtail your business around that. And then also, make sure that it's unique and that you're offering value all the time. And so, why should your ideal customer client buy from you rather than your competitor? And the bottom line is that you offer the kind of value that nobody else does. More importantly, it has to be relevant to the customer, which is why sometimes you just need to go to them and say, what do you want? And then make sure you meet that need. And then make sure that you are uniquely different. Because people like to feel special. They want to feel like they're on the edge of something, unique and different. And so that's pretty important. And then secondly, what sets you apart from your competitors? And I tell you, the three things that are going to always set you apart from your competitors is personal service. Hands down, personal service will carry your business when nothing else does. When you are an expert at what you do, and not only an expert, but you're comprehensively an expert, meaning that you understand all aspects of what it is you do and not just some specific area. Because the more comprehensive your knowledge is, the more people really will trust you. And they know that you will meet most, if not all, of their needs. And lastly, people do want you to have hands-on experience. That's vital. You can't say you're going to do a business. You kind of got to do the business. And so people want to know that you're the kind of person that knows how to do something. But let me leave you with this. When you're thinking about your unique value proposition, family, what you want to do is you want to stand out from the crowds. You just don't want to be like everybody else. Okay? Yeah, you want to be that single orange in that basket full of apples. You want to be that thing that's a little bit different than everybody else, but yet kind of providing something similar. Because again, like I said before, we all have competitors. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you got a little something out of this. As always, visit our website.